made it back to the championship race.
All right, guys. It's been a long couple weeks.
Long couple weeks.
What did we count? Like 6 derbies in 14 days, if you count all 3 days of Heber.
Yeah, well, you get Kamas, 3 days of Heber, then you had
UTC.
Coalville, UTC, Duchesne, Juab, Ogden.
Yeah. So
That's
L month is officially over.
ah,
Thank God.
yeah, I'm feeling it this year.
Yeah.
Out of all the years derby, and this is the year I've felt it. I've never been so ready to hang it up for the year as I am right now.
I'm 100% behind you. I got done with Heber and I looked at my daughter and I said, "Do you really have to run UTC?"
Yeah. I'm gonna try to run Manti this week, and then honestly, like I'm hoping I'm done for the year. I am a whoop pup,
Yeah.
and I am super busy with work to the point that I'm just like, after working a long day, I just want to go home and hang out with the kids and the wife
Yep.
and do nothing and catch up on work. I mean, I took what did I do? I took 12 out of 20 days off work.
Yeah. That's a lot of catching up to do when you get back.
Yeah, I'm way behind, and I got to make that money for winter, so here I am.
That's me. I've been ever since Heber's been over. I've been trying to catch up on designs and
I'm
getting shit out.
I've talked to a lot of people. A lot of people are feeling it this year.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I don't know what's different about it. I mean, this is the same shit every year.
it is same shit every year, but I think that the core group of guys are getting older. I feel like the builds are getting harder, even in the wire class. Like, look at like 3 years ago wire class builds compared to like
Yeah.
today's. They all come up again.
Yep.
Like it's just crazy to me. Like like how the sport is always evolving.
Yep. It doesn't matter if it's the beginners or the most advanced, everything you get new parts, new tools, new equipment.
Yeah,
Every single year something new comes out.
yeah. It's gonna always do that, which is uh, part of the sport that's cool.
Yep.
But you watch though. I've already been asked by a bunch of people that want more and more and more and more and more and more. And then you get to the wild cards, they're like, we want less, 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 less. Like the wild cards drop back down here, and these work their way up to the wild cards, and it's just this rolling cycle.
Yep.
But
oh yeah, because I know when you first started talking about the old iron wire, I'm like, well, what about this, this, and this? And then you're like, you might as well just build a weld car.
yeah. Well, I get people all the time that call me like, why don't you let us run your ends? Like, postal mold parts in our wire cars. And I'm like, what? If you want to run a postal, build a weld car.
Yep.
Why don't you let us do this and that? I said, you can do that in the weld class. Like, you can do whatever you want. Just pick the class.
Yeah.
So
I think that's why I like the old iron wire is you get to use some of your parts, but it still gives the normal driver a chance.
yeah. I think that like you look at even like a Juab stock.
Yeah.
I watched those cars this last week, and they're not very good cars.
No,
And they don't. There's not enough car there in my eyes I mean, don't get me wrong. They're one heat cars.
Yeah.
But like you're running stock bumper brackets and everything. I'm like, you better plan on junking that car in one heat because
Yeah.
that's what it's coming down to. If your car's not junk, it's usually because you had issues on something else along the way.
Yeah.
But in that class, you can't sit there and say that somebody's got more money or whatnot
No.
because that class, like if someone wants to put a $12,000 engine in a stock rubber mounts, like feel
Good for
free.
them.
But like your motor mounts can break and things can get squampus pretty good.
Yep.
So it's pretty crazy how different they are. It's a funny story. We just had some horses walk by, but
The baker.
these two girls the other day literally rode their horses down to McDonald's and through the drive-thru.
That's awesome.
I got a big kick out of it. But anyways, well, let's kind of circle back. We'll start at Camas. We never really got to do a review of Camas.
No, because once Camas was over, it was full throttle Heber.
Yeah, so Camas, I actually was very impressed with the car count at
Yeah,
Camas.
it's a pretty good car count.
The trucks, I feel like trucks are dead in Utah, guys. Like the truck guys got to get together,
Figure shit out.
figure shit out, or we just need to scrap them because I Juab had 9, and it wasn't the most boring thing I ever seen, but in my eyes it wasn't that entertaining. But
It's been a while since I've seen an oh my god moment in a truck heat. Like,
yeah, well, every other truck heat I've watched is like 3 trucks, 4 trucks, and it's like I'd like to see.
that's kind of what Derailer was too. There, I think there was like 4 or 5 trucks.
I would like to see 8 trucks consistently.
Yeah.
And I actually like the idea of trucks. I just would like these guys to get together and figure out, is it the rules? Is it the payouts? I mean, Juab paid great money and they only had 8. So I don't think it was a money issue down there, but I don't really know what it
Probably
is.
a build style down there because it's like building a mod car pretty much, right? I haven't looked at them in a long time.
So I would say like not building a truck and not actually knowing. I would say it's like between like I would say like standard limited weld.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
kind of like the.
Hey, like I said, it's been a while since I went and looked at a full weld truck.
But they had 30 80s wire cars show up to Camas.
What does that tell you?
Yeah. I mean, simplicity. These guys like simplicity. And Logan was the week before, so they were able to eat off of Logan a little bit. These guys were trying to finish cars off Logan.
Well, and I've said it to a couple different people. You got to look at what's in front of you if you want to build a main derby out of it. And everything before that is 80s wire, old iron wire.
Yeah. Yeah, and I forget how many old iron wire, but the old iron wire heat in Camas was excellent.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Honestly, I don't know if I've watched an old iron wire heat this year yet that I haven't liked.
Yeah.
Old iron wire heat for me is right now the best watching.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of the 80s wire because I feel like it's not the cars, but I feel like there's just so much that can go wrong that people get put out
For silly things.
on dumb stuff, and so I think that's the part of it. But the one thing I was very impressed in Heber's 80s wire is they didn't feel like there was so much shit falling off the
No,
cars
you
this
guys
year.
are picking up a lot of.
Yeah, that's one of the other things I kind of hate about the 80s wire is like we're always picking parts up off and axles and stuff.
Yep.
So it's just killing the momentum of the heat.
Yeah.
But other than that, like 80s wire is fun to watch. I love watching those cars crunch. But it's the powder puff that they ran was the limited weld. I don't like that.
Which I talked to Mark at UTC and I said, if you run an 80s wire powder puff, odds are you're going to get the Burns girls because they were there anyway.
Yeah.
So you would have got them. I probably would have took my daughter up there. Preston Sessions has a girlfriend that he likes to take to the powder puff. So you can get
The problem
a good amount.
The problem with like the weld cars, the powder puff, like in my eyes, is what derby in the state of Utah ran limited weld this year?
Exactly.
Camas was the first one.
Yep.
So in order for like most of those girls, you'd have to build them their own car.
Yeah.
And I was going to throw my wife in the seat of my car.
Unfortunate events.
Until she broke her arm. But like, I would like to see that, even if it went to old iron wire.
Yeah. Yep.
Like
something that's a lot easier to build that, you can get somebody into a lot easier.
I mean, I think that there's definitely options. I mean, I'm not saying that they have to run 80s wire. I like the idea of old iron wire. And honestly, they can keep running the limited weld rules. They just got to realize that in order to get car count, they literally have to be building a car for that or drive someone else's car.
Yep.
And sometimes that's hard.
Yep, it is.
But what else do they have up there? They did the Power Wheels for the first time up there,
Yeah.
which was cool. I'm kind of a fan of Power Wheels just because my kids are in Power Wheels right now.
Yeah.
I like derbies that do them before the show. We do ours during the show, and it drives me nuts.
Yeah, I like them before the show.
Like
Kicks things off, lets people get in their seats. That way, when the event actually starts,
yep, and it gets the kids. I mean, shit. Last week at Juab, after the first heat, my wife sends me a picture of both my kids sleeping.
Yep,
they were on the ground sleeping already. I mean, they played all day, and so they just didn't do their naps or whatever. But that's what I like about doing it at the beginning of the show. I wish I could get the Heber to let us do that.
Yeah, it would be a lot easier. And then you don't have people coming down when cars are trying to come in the arena.
I've asked for it for the last 2 years. I keep getting denied, but maybe third time's a charm.
Keep trying.
I will. I think the Power Wheels is a fun way to kick off the event. I really do.
Definitely is.
And like gives them like sometimes I feel like we're rushed to get them out there.
Yeah.
But for me, like at the Heber show, I feel like that the Power Wheels kills the momentum of the show.
Yeah.
Like because they want us to do them like early enough the kids are still there and awake. But I'm like I got to get some action going before we kill it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Kamas did that. That was pretty cool. I think Justin Broadhead donated some prizes to that.
Yeah, I think he did trophies,
which is cool.
Broadhead decals.
Let's see here. Overall,
it wasn't a bad show.
I guess my downfall to Kamas was it was long.
It was long, and
like they had.
You guys did a great job, Dutch, Mark, but organization and running that show, like heat wise and keeping things rolling. That was my biggest issue with going and watching it, is it took forever.
Well, yeah, because like I feel like they were clearing the track super quick.
Well, in some of the heats they were clearing it really fast. Like the 80s wire, they had it done like that, and then other heats where there's like 3 or 4 cars in it. Maybe it was because they're giving out trophies and stuff, but they just seemed to kind of drag on a little bit.
Well, I think that I kind of felt like they were getting the track cleared pretty quick, but I didn't feel like they're loading it quick.
Yeah.
And so I guess my only advice to them next year would be the way you guys bring your cars in one gate and take them out the other gate. I would just say have the next heat lined up at the other side.
That's what Duchesne does. As soon as the first heat pulls in, the next heat rolls around and parks next to the gate.
Yeah. And I would say as soon as that track's cleared and groomed, you load it. Keep your action going because they had like 7 or 8 heat.
Yeah. And one of the other things I noticed there is get some lights or some horns to get the driver's attention.
Yeah.
You can't get pissed at them if you don't have any of that stuff. You can't be throwing shit at them out of anger.
Yeah, I've seen a couple officials getting really mad, like throwing stuff at drivers because they're bad. They don't stop.
But there's nothing there other than the announcer saying, guys, stop. And anybody that's been in a derby car, you know that's not necessarily enough.
Yeah, it's not. And I mean, as a driver, you're focused on what's in front of you or what's coming at you.
Yeah,
you don't focus on the guys on the farm.
I honestly like the lights that you guys use. UTC uses like anything that has lights. Flashing.
The only problem with the lights flashing is they're great when it's dark.
Yeah.
That first hour until the sun goes down, it's hard to see. And
one of the things Stern Dirt does is they use that train horn.
Yeah.
And that's really nice too.
Yeah.
Just something to stop for safety. Anyway.
We were able to flicker our whole arena lights this year.
Yeah, that was cool.
Which I love that, but once again, it doesn't work that first hour of the night. And so it's just hard to get attention. And I'll side with the drivers. Like it's hard to see. And
we had an incident in Duchesne where it was, driver never seen the flag, pushed the car over the berm. Like we had a choice. We could break a stick or just pull the car out and let it go. We ended up pulling the car out and letting it go.
Which was 100% the right call.
Yeah.
So, anyways, overall, I thought Kamas was really good.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like the promoters
They're giving it their best effort.
They're putting in it. You look at where they started 3 years ago to where
Yeah.
they're at this year. I feel like they're on track, and I
And
feel like small tweaks and a couple like a little
Yeah.
more planning. Those guys are going to have a pretty fun show, and honestly, that's what that show is. It's supposed to be like a small,
Yeah.
fun show.
Yeah.
So, um, we already recapped Heber, so we'll skip that one and we'll jump over to the next weekend, which we had
UTC, Tooele, and Coalville.
Coalville. So,
First off, Tooele. Did you see the rollover that Easton had?
yeah, that rollover was right now. That's probably hit of the year.
Here in Utah, at least.
Hit of the year, like that was just even like you can say, oh, like somebody hit hard or whatever. That's cool, but you're not gonna see a cooler little like
Dude, he almost bounced on the top of that or on the side of the car.
a 7-second video clip. That's pretty badass.
Yeah.
Which obviously 'cause that can be turned scary quick too.
Yeah,
But,
everybody was okay when it was all said and done, which was was
well,
good news.
Awesome hit, Easton. Like
Yeah.
that was so far it's my favorite hit of the I mean on video it's pretty bad, but like watching Nick's hit and Heber, that one was like
In live action, yeah, that one was awesome.
one was like OMG.
There's only one other rollover that I've seen this year that compares to that, and that was EPR and
When they're in the
Wicked
Jordan.
Warzone team show.
Yeah. But awesome hit, Easton. Seemed like that show for I mean for the lack of I don't even know if the lack of planning is the right word, but
The lack of time on getting the information out.
that show was pretty much planned in 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And getting the information out in 5 weeks and stuff. It seemed like they had good results. I haven't talked to Dell, but it seemed like the results were good.
I do believe when we talked about that, my money was on somebody, and I'm pretty sure he won at least one of the heats.
I don't even remember.
Braxton. Yeah.
Braxton's on a little roll, but I think you were trying to give me shit because I said he can't win them all.
He can't win them all.
He didn't win Heber. That's what I'm saying.
He didn't.
Every now and then, somebody else is going to win.
Some days you're the hammer, some days you're the nail.
Yeah. But Braxton's about there. I think he's about ready to move out of that youth class and start driving. He's got the experience for sure.
He's one hell of a wheel, man. That's
for
sure.
I definitely think he's, in my opinion, he needs to get into faster paced heats and get learning that, because when I watch him like in the youth classes, it's so slow paced for him.
Yeah.
I feel like he needs to get up into some of that old iron wire, get rolling in that a little more.
Which I think you guys kind of helped him out, at least bringing him into that when you guys were in Eagle Mountain, because that heat was fast.
Yeah. That's where you learn to drive.
Yeah.
When you're out there just bumping and grinding, you have all day to make decisions. Like you can become a driver, but when the heat is so fast paced and you got cars going every direction, you can't stop and think, oh, who am I going to hit next? Or, oh, I'm not going to take this hit. I'll drive around the corner, because a lot of times you're going to get TKO'd.
Yep. Life comes at you fast when it's a fast paced heat.
I mean, when I first started derbying, I was baptism by fire, man. And derbies I chose were not the right derbies.
No.
For we didn't have the youth class.
No.
I remember going out to Vernal 2004.
It would have been
2004.
Yeah, because we drove in 2003 and you won in 2004.
I remember how fast paced that was. And I about died at least 5 times.
The boys was about ready to tune you up.
I know. It was, way fast paced, hard hitting type stuff. But anyways, sounds like Tooele actually had a pretty good show.
Yep.
UTC sounds like they had a pretty good show. I didn't make it. My first time ever. In the 15 or 16 years that show's been alive, I didn't make it.
There are a couple things I seen there that I was kind of disappointed in, like the officials out on the berm. You had Bowen Shields sitting in his car, no helmet on during the heat, back up against the steering wheel, watching the derby instead of just getting out of the damn car.
Yeah,
That's scary. And then
just
Otis Sweat getting hit in the youth heat, his helmet popping off, the official looking right at him from what it looked like to me from where I was standing or sitting and not stopping the show.
yeah,
Like, those are things when you're an official, you have to be on your game because that's somebody's life you're dealing with.
yeah. Well, and how many times have you been sitting in a car out and you're just over there ding, 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 and all of a sudden you get hit from the other
I
way?
had it happen. Frickin' Scott hit me.
Yeah.
Couldn't walk straight for a week.
So, yeah, I would say if you're a driver, guys, leave your damn helmet on. Leave your seatbelt on.
I know it gets hot. I know some of us are fat. And
as soon as they stop the heat that's when you
Hop
have the
out.
opportunity to take off your seatbelt, hop out of the car.
it's for your own safety. I mean, I'm not trying to talk shit on UTC. Like, I know those officials do their best, but those two things caught my eye and haven't sat well with me since I seen it.
Yeah. The other thing with UTC, it sounds like almost every single driver I've talked to said the track was terrible.
Yeah, it was soft.
So
Probably the softest I've seen it.
yeah. So I don't know what caused that. I don't know if they took too much of the hard pan off
Yeah.
and got to that soft pan. I don't know.
You're talking gibberish to me, bud.
I don't know if they just didn't like get it compacted in good and then like throughout the night.
Yeah.
Like if you watch like the way we were grooming our track in Heber this year, our I don't even know what the hell the proper name is for, but like our little
Black Widow?
claws, whatever you want to call it, spikes, they never went in the ground.
Yeah.
We just had the rollers going the whole time. If we needed to fill holes, they filled them with the skid steer.
Yep.
That was the first time we done that way because even last year we were dropping the claws 2 inches.
Yeah.
And that's how they were grooming all that track flat. But I think that like in Juab, I thought their track was a little too soft personally.
So
but
like
but if you grab that dirt and fill it was compacting together really nice and it had enough moisture in there to compact. But I think that they were just dragging their spikes too deep and retilling it too much.
Yeah.
And they didn't have a roller on the tractor they're using. And I was gonna, I'll mention that to them like for next year if they choose to fix it because the show was good.
Yeah.
So
the clips I seen on YouTube that it looked like it was a fun show.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna take that away from it, but I definitely think how you prepare a track can make or break a show.
100%. We've talked about that a lot.
But yeah, so the UTC sounds like they had a lot of good one and done heats.
Yeah, Brandon Healy wins the overall Mad Dog, which holy shit.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute. So Brandon built his car in my shop and he wanted to build a Dova, hasn't ran a full size car in
Probably since 2016 at Mont Show.
Yeah, but even before, okay, take that one out of the equation and go another 10 years.
Yeah, he's
never built like a full size car like in years, and he wanted to, build a car, and I kept telling him, I'm like, try a Dova. They're so much fun. I still think Dovas are one of the most underrated cars.
I'm looking for one for next year.
I really do. They're so easy to build. They're honestly a cool little fact is when you look at a Dova, they look tiny. But if you put them next to a 60s Chrysler, pull a tape measure.
They're not that.
They're longer than some of them. They're within 6 inches of like the big 60 box car Chryslers. They're 6 inches shorter.
Probably about the same size as like a Sport Fury.
So people just don't realize that they're actually a big car. They have these huge front ends. The trunks are just tiny. The cabs have these huge long doors. So the trunks are so short and
it makes it look a lot smaller.
It makes it look smaller, but the front of that car is huge.
It's huge and it's strong.
I mean, it's kind of the Monte Carlo with the GM.
Yep.
But anyhow, Brandon goes down there. I had some issues I ran into that day, and Scott, he was building the car with us. He had tranny issues, and I literally sent Brandon a text, and I said, "Hey, bud, we're not gonna make it. Good luck down there, kick ass." He responded, "Are you kidding me?" And he told me that he was scared to death.
He was scared shitless.
And he's like, I was terrified, but it sounds like he went out there and just hammered down. He says, I felt like that. He's like, I didn't know where I fit into it. I haven't drove a big car. He's like, I decided to hammer down.
That's exactly what he did. It took him a minute to figure out how to keep that son of a bitch under control, though.
Yeah.
Once he figured that out, he was good.
Oh, I mean, hell, these people think that you have to have built engines.
You don't. That's a stock 400 big block.
We pulled that out of a shocker, literally, that came out of a junkyard. And Brandon did spark plugs, timing chain, and threw a set of headers and a good carburetor on that thing, and off to the races he went. And you know, it's like that 440 I ran at Eagle Mountain too. That's all stock.
Yeah,
that's out of an Imperial, but it's all stock. And
I've learned through the years that we went through motors, just the stock ones. Once you do the timing chain and gears, and you do have a good carburetor, they'll run forever.
Good loose engines too. You know, like I actually feel like some of these engine builders are actually building their engines too tight.
Yeah.
And they're getting hot, even though that they're golly, they got performance. You know, some of these engines that just hammer down on performance, that they're losing that longevity. But you get an old Mopar that's loose.
The old red block.
Oh, that one was beautiful. That thing would run all night and never get warm.
Yep. I don't think I ever seen that thing blow a flame.
You could walk over and turn it like with 2 fingers, the pulleys, but had no compression. But man, that thing, the longer the heat went, the better that thing would run.
And that was a little single
318 one barrel. I'm actually sad. That one went, that thing got passed around like a town bicycle.
Yeah, you gave her to Cole Whipple.
I got it from Lynn Mason.
Yep.
And I feel like he got it from Brad Hyatt.
Yep.
So I feel like it just got passed around, but that was a good motor.
Yep.
But I think a lot of people forget how good. Look at my brother's car in the Heroes Heat.
Yeah.
Okay.
I asked him, I said, what the hell?
I'm not here talking shit, but and it might be the way he drove, but he had, he's got a brand new Charade in his wire car, his old iron wire car. He's got the stock engine that comes in his 80s wire car. And if you look side by side for the weekend, that 80s wire motor ran circles around that Charade. I'm guaranteed it's the way he drove. Yep. But I'm just saying, that motor ripped, and it literally was the motor that came in the car, covered in grease.
Sometimes you get those ones that are just like a needle in a haystack.
I just think that people forget that, like in the wire stuff, you don't need performance engines.
No, you really don't.
The only reason why performance engines even came around was because the derby slowed down in the weld class. The cars weren't bending, they weren't braking, but the engines were overheating.
Yeah.
So people started trying to get engines to go longer. I never really, I know there's people out there, but I've never heard anybody come to me and say, I need more power in my derby car.
Yeah. I don't regret buying my motor, but at the same time, I had the same luck I have with a stock motor.
But like the difference between having a let's take the Charade, just because that's like really popular here.
Yeah.
When you get a motor from Chris, it's tuned and dialed.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of guys out there, no offense, that don't know how to tune and dial an engine. And I've said it for years. The most important part to an engine is the carburetor.
When I talked to Chris, and Chris is like, what do you want? I said, Chris, I'm dumb when it comes to all that stuff. I want to be able to flip the switch, hit the button, and it go vroom, vroom.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I got. And I love it. Like, I'm very happy with what I have.
But I've been to derbies over the years where, like, people's cars, like, they won't run. They can't get them to run. You go over there and look, and they're running like a piece of shit quadrajet carburetor, which I shouldn't be calling a piece of shit because Kenny Keller loves them.
Dude, I've heard stories about them being better than Ed O'Brock.
That's where Kenny's at. Kenny says they're the best ever. But I'm just saying these guys are missing. They got vacuum leaks. They're not jetted correctly.
Doing plugs, wires.
Yeah, and I had my brother had a car once. Tyler, back in the day, we couldn't get the car to even run. Wouldn't even idle. We changed that carbs on the thing 5 times. And finally, I'm like, did you change the spark plugs? He's like, no, we pulled them. Literally every spark plug was like fouled out and broke.
Oh, shit.
But like, if you're a newbie out there getting into derby and you're running like a stock engine in wire class, you should be putting new spark plugs, wires, cap, rotor,
Most of all, check your oil and replace the oil.
Have you service the engine, and if you have the ability to change the timing chain.
Yep.
If you do those things right there,
It's a game changer.
9 out of 10 times you're gonna have a great running engine and a good carburetor. If you can't, if your carburetor shit, I don't know. Go
find somebody that can
go
rebuild
hustle
that
and
shit.
bustle. You can go buy a brand new car for $400.
Yep.
Go find a sponsor. Grab $400.
Still picks.
You do that. That's $1,000 worth of shit right there. That motor's gonna run.
Yep.
And in Demolition Derby, you don't need the strongest car. You need the car that's gonna be the last running.
That should be Joker's
Period.
motto.
I mean, Joker. You watch Joker and Heber in the team show. He probably had the softest built car. He drove the wheels off that thing all weekend long, and he made the right hits. He was in the right places. His car never died. He got hung up a few times, but he was right there at the end, at the very end.
As long as you can
Every
keep
time.
4 tires on a drive and your drivetrain steady, you can go all night.
He won Juab's old iron wire heat. I mean, the car was folded up, still running.
Did I hear he rolled somebody?
Yes, he did.
Joker, that's not like you.
I think the throttle was stuck. That's the only logical explanation. But anyhow,
So
UTC sounds like it was a pretty good show.
yeah, there was a lot of good drivers there. Brindley took 4th in the powder puff, which I was shitting bricks as a father watching her pull into an arena with the Burns girls and half the other girls that can drive.
I was so discouraged for not making UTC. Yeah, I just watched like this 15 years of like just I mean, think about it. I've done that show for 15 years in a row.
What did I text you when I was sitting there?
I don't know.
I said, this doesn't seem right without a green car in the arena.
End of an era.
Yep.
But I was so upset I didn't even go to the Derby. I just took my kids and went to the carnival, and we went to the rodeo here in Heber, and I slept through half the rodeo because I was so tired because we stayed up the whole night before working on cars. But I mean, it sucks not being there.
Oh, yeah.
So
that same night we had
Coalville. From most everybody I talked to said Coalville was badass.
Yeah.
I still think Coalville is one of the best small town derbies in America.
Yeah,
And
it's a cool venue to go to as well.
Clay and Mindy, they rock it over there. The cool part about Coalville is Clay's a modern day driver.
Yep.
So Clay understands how to take care of the drivers. He knows what the drivers want. But he also understands leniency, that he's not an asshole to people. Like, let's get the cars fixed. I think he told me they had 50 something cars.
That's awesome.
And that place doesn't have enough pitting room for 30.
No.
But he had like 50 something cars, and they were one and done heats, and I heard every heat was awesome.
Once again, TJ won a Mad Dog.
TJ won a Mad Dog and first place.
It can't be done.
I was trying to give him shit, and I think he got mad at me because
we love you, TJ. You drive however the hell you want to drive.
I haven't heard back from him since I gave him shit.
Well, that's not cool.
I just said, hey, you shouldn't have done that. Now we're all going to expect that.
Yep.
But Nick Birch, he hasn't drove in years and years and years. Only drove like one time. He drove an 80s wire car in Heber and had bad luck, fixed it there. And they say he got first place in Mad Dog too.
And Tyson Whittison took, was it second in the car that Byron drove in the Heroes?
Yeah, he bought it off Byron here.
He placed in Heber too, if I remember right. He's pretty damn close.
I think he actually did.
Yeah.
I think he was top 5 for sure.
Well, good for you, Tyson.
But it sounds like Coalville was awesome. I mean, I don't know.
I'm glad because I like Clay and Mindy. They do a good job. They're awesome people.
I have a feeling that I'm going to have to go try it out. I've been really disappointed that UTC changed their dates.
Yeah.
Because I used to go to Coalville.
Yep.
And then I had that streak going on at UTC. And
so you couldn't give it up. Now the streak's broken.
The streak's broken, and you know, like my nephew's going to be getting into Derby here pretty quick. They do the youth heats over there and stuff too. So
they do them in UTC now.
Yeah. And they did a limited weld over in Coalville, which UTC's heavy welded. I had a limited weld car, so
yeah.
I just about ditched my other car and hurried and grabbed my limited weld.
100% honesty. I expected you to text me back. I'm on my way to Coalville.
I would have, but I blew the engine in Kamas.
So you didn't have her quite ready.
I did have a new motor put in it by the time that rolled around, but I didn't have the ball joints fixed or anything else fixed, like the damage that was on the car. So like literally I've been rolling in there and instead of my wheel being stripping down, it was like that. And that ball joint was just on the verge of ready to give out. So
and watching that heat, that might have been a little brutal heat to try to take a car that was leaning like that.
Yeah, but I would have liked to have been in the heat after watching. I was like, oh man, I would wish I was there too.
Poor JC got hurt and bruised ribs.
Yeah, that's never fun.
Don't run a sidebar high. You guys that run them are crazy. And if you do, run a 5-point harness.
I think it's been about 5 or 6 years. I don't know. Maybe it's been a little longer. The center bar started making its way to Utah.
I don't like it.
And every time I look in there, I'm like, hell no. And then like Chris was saying, I can't believe you don't run a center bar. And I said, I can't believe you do.
Yep.
Because all my shit's in the same place. It's just lower where I'm not going to get TKO'd. And then like in the 1 week, I hear 3 people getting TKO'd by their center bars, including Chris.
Yeah.
Including Chris.
Chris's stuff might be lower next
year.
No, JC was okay. He ended up driving again the next Saturday in derailer. So after Coalville, we had Duchesne, which was the Thursday after that.
They had some learning struggles this year.
We definitely did.
So Cole took it back over. Cole's awesome. I love Cole. I think he's going to do a good job with that derby. Year 1.
It was rough.
He had some learning struggles. In my opinion, the track sucked, but like it appeared to be awesome.
Yeah, when you walked on it, it was hard.
Like you would take your back of your boot and kick it into the dirt, and I mean it's barely chiseling away the dirt. But when we got out there in cars, as soon as you spun through that top 2 or 3 inches, it would just sink down. But other than that, I mean, if you looked at the track, it looked awesome.
Yeah, because I walked out on it before the derby and he was kicking it, and I'm like, God, this is actually harder than I've ever seen.
If I could go back in time, I would have probably changed my tires.
Yeah.
I think I would have. I was running the STAs. Yeah. I think I would have went with skid steer tires. Yeah. It would have gave me a wider tire and something that kind of scoop the dirt rather than trench.
Yeah.
So I mean that's just something
learning curve.
Next year, if I were to go back, I would probably do that because I had skid steer tires on my wire car out there.
Yeah, you could have swapped them out.
And the wire car went pretty good.
Fine. Dude, that fucking thing zipped.
Yeah. It's kind of funny that I paid half the amount of money for that engine as my weld car, and that car ran circles around my weld car. So I don't know what was going on, but the wire car did good.
Yeah, it definitely did.
I don't know if it was tire, the drivetrain, what. But
so we had 2 heats of limited weld, which, no offense to any of those guys that drove, they probably should have been in the old iron wire. There were 2 heats of that. They went pretty fast and pretty quick. We had lawnmower races, the limited weld, and then we had the main event, which we talked earlier. We had an incident where somebody didn't see a red flag, pushed the car into the dirt. We stopped the derby, pulled the car out. Unfortunate circumstances. Nobody fired up after that, and he wheeled around, bumped somebody, and
derby was over.
Yep.
And there I was, stuck in the dirt.
You were okay, but to be fair, if you really wanted to win that, you could have.
Yeah, but I would have just had to go down, bump and grind. I wanted to win it in style. I didn't want to. If next year you want me to go and bump and grind it.
To be fair, also, if you wouldn't hit the kid, his helmet wouldn't have fell off, and we wouldn't have had to red flag it.
Well, I can't control that.
No, it was a good derby. I mean,
the coolest part that Nate's leaving out.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So the kid that won Duchesne's Wild Class,
18 years old,
first time driver, first car, looks like it was built in
69 Impala,
built in 1 week. And he entered the main event with no front bumper.
And he entered the main event with Brad Bowman and Chris Williams.
And he wins it, okay? Now, I just want you to think about that for a minute. This is why in Demolition Derby, you've got to show up and you've got to pull on the track because you never know what's going to happen.
If I was told right, Cole said he was down a couple cylinders as well.
So if you were a betting, what do they call it? A betting bookie? All the odds for me and Chris are walking away with that show. That kid is like, what do they do that at the Kentucky Derby where it's like the weakest link horse?
The odds.
Yeah. That kid was like the weakest link horse. And then like a couple years ago where that weakest link horse won the Kentucky Derby. Yep. That's why they raced the race.
Yep, because anything can
that happen. Kid wins. Like and yep. I don't even go home with a high five. Nobody even gave me a high five after that.
I give you a thumbs up.
You laughed at me.
I'm like, dumbass.
But I just thought it was so cool because now we've got a young kid that just
enthused.
Wants the money, won his first Derby. I feel like he's coming back next year.
Yeah.
And hopefully, that adds another 1 or 2 cars throughout the year. Anytime we can get the younger generation in, even if it's at the expense of me losing, I'm willing to do it.
Well,
I love it.
When they showed up to inspection, we're like, you guys know you're allowed 6 fresh plates. And they're like, yeah, we just didn't know where to put them. So Justin went through and it's like, put it here, here, and here. They went in and welded the plates on. So they're young kids, they're learning, and to come out and beat Brad Bowman and Chris Williams.
Well, the one kid, he came over and said, can I take pictures of your frame? And I'm like, sure. And so he's just like, I've never seen anything like this. And he's like, we only put a couple plates on because we didn't know where to put them. And I'm like, dude, I said, look for the bends in your frame. That's where you're going to want to put them if you don't know where. And then, I got talking to him, exchanged my phone number, and just said...
They're pretty good kids. I enjoyed talking to him down there.
And I'm like, just, if you have any questions in the future, call me.
Yeah.
I'm not a genius when it comes to 69 Impalas.
But you're also not the type that's going to withhold information for somebody's gain. You want everybody to have a level playing field and have...
I know in Demolition Derby there's a lot of secretive people. People don't want you in their shops. They don't want you looking at their cars.
They don't want to answer text messages.
They tarp up their cars, whatever, but that's not me. Anybody can walk in my shop at any time and I will literally tell you exactly what I've done to my car. I just feel like people are lazy because I've told 100 people, here's what I do to my cars, and then they go home and do the complete opposite or only do half of it.
I'll be 100% honest. Half the time, I don't have the patience to do half the shit you do. So that's why I'm lazy.
But for me, it's like, I'll tell you and I'll show you because the thing that to me, I'll never forget is I learned from other people.
Yeah, well,
everything, I would say probably 90% of what I've learned from Demolition Derby, I've learned from someone else.
Yep.
I've only came up with my own shit probably 10% of the time. And so for me, it's like, I'm not going to withhold that information to a new person.
Yeah.
And to me, if I want to beat you, I'll beat you on the track.
Yep.
I don't, you know what I mean? But I've also said over the years, you can win a derby in the shop.
100%.
If you build the right car and put together the right drivetrain and everything, you can win a derby by putting together the right cars, but you still got to drive them.
Yep.
And
that kid showed up that day and
outdrove me.
Had the frickin' horseshoe in his pocket and walked away with some pretty good money for it.
$5,000, and he just went like this to me the whole way home.
Ear to ear smile.
No, happy for him. After that, move on to the derailer.
Which derailer surprised me, to be honest. No offense to Stern Dirt, no offense to the drivers. The last couple years I've been there, I've wanted to be in Juab. It's been kind of a lackluster show as far as driving goes. Everybody wants to win. Nobody really wants to push the tempo, and that was not an issue that Saturday night. Every driver there drove their ass off. Those Hikes boys out of Wyoming, dude,
their shit run.
Their shit runs and it's built and they use it.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Um,
had a couple of them show our show last year and very impressive.
yeah, they impressed the shit out of me driving down there. There were a couple cars down there that, dude, they literally gave it everything they had. Turnbow, Vinny, like those guys, they drove their ass off. Vinny ended up winning, which if any of you guys have ever met Vinny,
He's a great guy.
he's probably one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. If you ever buy something from him, he's not gonna upcharge you.
No, you
He's
almost
so
feel bad buying some
yeah.
of his stuff because it's like this is probably worth more. I'm not in it to make money.
Yep. Vinny's a
He's
good
cool.
dude. Um, they had truck heats. I think there was 5 or 6 trucks. It was a pretty decent one. Um, I can't remember the kid that won, but he put on a hell of a show towards the end when everybody was kind of stuck. He wasn't. He was one of the ones that was gonna send his truck off in style, full tracking. So we appreciate that. I know the fans appreciate it. Um, there was one controversial thing I kind of want to bring up and just kind of get people's opinion on. I know in Stern Dirt's rules it says half car length for a hit, but to me, I feel like if a car is backing up and giving you 1.5 feet, 2 feet of daylight and thumping into another car under power, and you can see rooster tails coming out of the back of the tires, to me, I consider that a hit. I don't know what anybody else feels about that.
So, like when I've been on the berm, like an Ultimate Derby show, they consider a hit daylight. If you could shove a piece of paper between the two, that's what they consider a hit. And this is honestly, we could debate this for days. Like this is one of them things where I think everyone has an opinion of their own.
Yeah,
For me, a hit is I want to see I want to see a full car length as a
yeah,
hit, or I want you giving me 100% of what your car has.
yeah. See, and I wasn't on headset. I don't know if he was timed out before, but Edwin had backed up, like Vinny had unhung him, and Edwin had backed up and made a hit. Like I said, I wasn't on headset. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if he was timed out before that, but he was literally backing up, a good 2 feet and driving it right back into the car in front of him. And it would have took him to second place, and instead he didn't place. So, I mean, clearly in Stern Dirt's rules, by their rule, it was the right call. I just want to get your guys' opinion on it, on
Yeah.
what you guys think.
So, like I said, for me, I when you're out there and it's early in the heat and you've got somebody kind of over in the corner and you're only backing up 5 feet and hitting them, I'm not counting that. Like
Yeah,
you need to back up far enough to give this guy the advantage to work his way out of the corner or whatever. I want a full car length and you can come back in. To me, I'm counting that as a hit. Okay. But when a car's got a broken ball joint and a flat rear tire and the engine's overheating and
Yeah.
he's going in a half circle and he can only move 5 feet at a time, or like you've seen people rev
Yeah.
their engines and drop it in gear.
yeah.
If they're doing that and they're moving 2 or 3 feet, I'm counting that as a hit too, because they're giving their car 100% of what the car can do.
And to me, standing there on the berm taking photos, when I was watching it, Edwin was giving it what the car had. Because he was, I mean, I didn't get to see the driver or the passenger side of his car. I seen the driver's side. And what I seen is when he backed up, he gave it everything it had going forward and then hung himself back up. But at the end of the day, like by Stern Dirt's rule, it was the right call. The right call was made. I mean, it's unfortunate for Edwin because, in a different derby, he could have took second.
Yeah.
But
Well, we've had this conversation as of late a bunch because the timing system that's being ran at half the Utah shows,
it's not foolproof.
I would like to know what they're counting as hits and what they're not counting as hits.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's a misconception of what is a hit and what isn't a hit, because I feel like we're getting buttons clicked for certain hits that aren't being clicked for the other hits. So I think that we should throw this up as a poll. I would like to get it, and I think that maybe one of these days we should actually have a whole show on this.
Yeah.
Maybe bring on 2 or 3 people, and because this is one of them things, guys. Everyone's going to have their opinion, and
Yeah.
every situation is different.
And not necessarily anybody's wrong in the situation.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I think we could bring on 10 different people and get a lot of different insight from each one of those people why they think one way or the other.
Yeah.
So I think we'll definitely look at tabling that and bring that one back around.
But I told you that show to me, given that, like, it was an A, like, not an A plus, but it was an A show. Like, it was, if that's what I was promised every single year I went to that show, I'd go back every year.
Yeah. So next was Juab.
Yep.
I thought it was phenomenal. I thought Juab show it's legit an A show, 100%.
How much did they pay out?
$150, like $2,000 in one night.
One night, guys.
$2,000.
One and done heats, $152,000.
The Welch show wasn't one.
It wasn't, was it?
No, they ran heats, Greg.
That's right.
But
still, even the one and done heats were.
Yeah, I just think that I think I'm blown away with how much effort Juab puts into their derby.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the core of that derby,
they're not derby people.
They're not derby drivers.
Yeah.
They're not even really promoters. They're derby fans.
Yeah.
And like Ryan Kay started that derby. He was one of the people that started that derby, and he's poured his heart and soul into that thing. And I'm telling you, like the committee around him, with Jennifer, Jamie, and the rest of their staff,
they're giving them everything they need to put on a kick-ass show.
These drivers are showing up, and they're taking care of them with drivers' gifts. They're throwing food at them.
Yep.
They're throwing money everywhere.
Yeah.
And
$152,000 in a night.
You know, the inspections teams down there, they've got good inspection teams. I definitely think that they could have better inspections, but it's going to take better people to do it.
Yep.
So if anyone is looking for a well car inspection, I'll get you their phone number because they might be needing a new one next year. I don't want to drive that show. So, but in all seriousness, they put the effort all the way around, and then when you like pull on that track, you can just tell. I mean, there's 11,000 seats. Sold out.
Yep. Every year.
Full. The announcers they had some new announcers this year. It brought a different energy. And
that was the other thing that was weird about UTC was not hearing Louder's voice.
Yeah. It was just different. It was a good energy at Juab. It was. I thought that the drivers drove their asses off. Oh man, the drivers drove their asses off. I think they had somewhere in the 90-something cars. I think I seen probably 5 guys backing out of 90 cars.
The cool thing I seen on like the stock heats is there were a lot of oddball cars.
Oh yeah.
Like it wasn't your Shockers, it wasn't your Impalas, your cars that are usually running everywhere. It was, I think, what did Paul run? A 69 Chevy? Oldsmobile.
But what I thought was cool was, like, there's a lot of guys at the Juab Derby. I have no idea who they were.
I was actually telling Sydney the same thing.
No idea.
I was watching Paul's video on YouTube the other day, and I said, you know what? I said, I don't know 80% of those drivers.
It's a different set of drivers that run north.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is they made that flag. And like I said, 9 out of 10 of those guys were going balls to the walls. And I'm like, who are these people? Where'd they come from? But I'm telling you, the heats down at Juab, the stock heat and the wire heat, in my eyes, they outperformed the wild cars again.
Yeah.
Like they as far as putting on a show for the crowd. I have a different appreciation for wild cars that there's certain people in the bleachers, they just want to watch cars crash.
Yep.
When I watch wild cars and I watch engines and trannies and I watch that chess match and I'm watching the pecking order, like that intrigues me. But as a Derby fan and you're just watching cars crunch and crash,
Yeah.
the stock heats and the wire heat, old iron wire heat and Juab did not disappoint.
I think that's what had been missing from Derby for a while before the old iron wire, is we were getting to the point where cars weren't bending, and it, like, now the crowd gets to watch them bend again and stuff.
Well, and the other thing is like if you go back 5 years ago, you basically forced everyone to build a weld car.
Yep.
You know, like you look at UTC, we were around the weld heats. Either you ran a weld car or you didn't come.
Yep.
Now you're giving options. You're able to pull drivers from all over.
Well, because if it was still weld heats, I wouldn't be driving.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun to me anymore, putting that much time and effort into it.
There was a good group of California guys down there in the wire cars. They had a Canadian. Juab, seriously, to me, they knocked it out of the park. I thought the show was great.
They're good peeps no matter what anybody says, and you know who you are.
We had a rollover in the trucks in the wire class.
Joker on fire.
Joker rolled and got first.
Came down to him and Tripler, right? And they actually really battled.
Yeah.
From what I was told.
I would like to see them turn it up a little sooner, but when I got down to him, they freaking hammered down.
Dude, when Tripler hammers down, dude, he's one of my favorite people to watch.
Yeah,
but getting him to do it isn't very often, which, once again, it's your car, your lifestyle, you drive how the hell you want to drive.
One of my favorite engines of all time is Tripler's engine that he had.
383?
Yeah, but when did he run that? It would have been like 2021 at Juab. That was one of the best running engines. Like, seriously, like when he was opening that thing up that night, I think he rolled a car at like 8 feet. He went for
when he rolled Danny Ogden?
I don't remember who he rolled, but he was stopped still, and like within 8 feet, he had someone on their lid. I'm like, holy shit! Like,
I think I was at that one.
That honestly, that was. I freaking called up Chris Ray and I said, "I'll take a 383, please." Like, here's my purchase order. Like, get me one of them coming. Because that was the motor that sold me.
Yeah.
But anyways, I just thought that show was fantastic. I really do. Like the way they paid out. I think that's a great group of people down there. I got the pleasure of working with them the last year and this year, and we'll see what next year brings. But yeah. I've told I wasn't even going to go back this year. I'm like, hey, I really want to drive this show. But
you were even signed up.
I don't know if like people know who Ryan Kay is, but he is like he's the devil. Watch out for him, because when he wants an answer, he don't take no for an answer.
Well, I knew when we went to the concert last year and they were still trying to get you to sign up for it that they were going to end up winning you over.
Well, shit. Spencer Greathouse, he comes through tech, and I'm like, how long has it been since you drove? He's like, oh, like 8 years or something. I'm like, what brought you back? Oh, Ryan Kay messaged me and said, I expect to see you here this year. And I'm just like, that's a total Ryan thing. I see that. Like, Ryan, when he wants his drivers, and he knows knows the guys that he wants to support him, and if you don't come, guys, Ryan's not going to give two shits. Like, he's not going to be mad, but if you come, you're going to make his day. Like, when you pull in, he's got a smile from ear to ear.
Yep.
And
he used to petition to try to get me to go out there every year when I would run UTC. And I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah. So if you haven't been to Juab, check it out.
Yeah.
Stellar show. Like, great facility. Like, that arena is wicked. Like, it's big. The 11,000 seats.
It's not big. It's huge.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the track alone, not even counting the seats. The track is huge.
Phenomenal place. But, well, that kind of brings us up to date. I wish we could go in depth a little more on each show. We just didn't have the time.
No.
But we got Manti this weekend, and
we had Iron County.
Iron County was last weekend too. Sorry.
From the videos I seen, it looked like it turned out to be a pretty good show.
I think Case and Clay took 1, 2. I think Tyson was 3 in the
third.
Weld. The Bradshaw boys, I think, mopped up the wire class down there. I seen a young kid on the Derby page that like
Spaz.
No,
He had his car painted like Spaz, right? The mini car.
no. There's a young kid that's like Juan that looked like a little kid.
Yeah, a compact, right? Yeah, and he had Spaz painted down the side of the
Oh,
car. Yeah,
okay, different Spaz.
yeah, different Spaz.
Okay,
Painted the same as Spaz.
Just
I think
different.
it's kind of a role model thing.
Well,
I guess.
I definitely thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I didn't go down there. I was on a weekend getaway with my wife. First time we've seen each other in like 7 weeks. But I'll tell you, I guarantee Eric Brown took good care of those guys.
Dude,
But
I've seen on all his flyers now, he's taking a page out of your guys' book and feeding and watering.
the
And that is awesome.
the one thing that really I thought was cool, I don't know if any of you guys can remember back Eagle Mountain. He went and bought a bunch of prides for the Power Wheels, and that was so cool. And so I'm like, okay, he's willing to do that at another derby. I guarantee he's doing that at his own derby,
Oh, yeah.
and he's guaranteed he's doing other stuff. He's got another derby this coming Saturday in Beaver.
Yep.
So
Beaver Bash.
guys, get over there and check that one out. But Manti's on Friday as well. Jaden James's show.
Yeah.
That Manti's. It's been winning my heart over. I've been going there for I think 10 years in a row now. I think I missed 1 year 3 years ago out of 10, but every year that show's been great.
Yeah.
And
it's one I've always wanted to go to. I'm still not going to it because I'm burned out.
Buddy, I got a seat for you.
I'm okay.
Come on down.
The next day is my son's birthday, so
that's all right. Come on down still. It'll be a good one, but anyhow, that gets us kind of up to date. We'll get through these ones. I think on the next episodes, we need to try to get some people on and start having some discussions rather than just reviewing these derbies.
Yeah.
Let's get some lives and get going back on some of that. And
message us, comment us if you want to be one of the ones we talk to.
Yeah. We'd love to get some opinions and I'd love to talk about just the last 6 weeks. I mean,
Definitely.
So
let's talk about you going to Willman.
Oh, Heffley.
He just picked up a town car.
You're an idiot, Heffley.
He went to the dark side.
A town car?
Don't worry, he said he vomited when he picked it up.
No, there's a lot of guys I'd love to get in and start talking to and figuring things out. So look forward to a couple of those. I know that the next week is still busier and shit for me. And
we'll try to get you in. We'll try to get back on track to get episodes out every week.
Yeah, my wife's taking me to New York for 8 days to visit her family. So
that sounds awful.
It's not.
You gotta go enjoy the scenic New York.
You know what? I love New York.
I know you do.
I do.
That's why I said
if you've never been to upstate New York, you don't know what you're missing. It is like Utah. Utah's mountains are way cooler. But you take the greenest day of Utah, and it's not even in the same spectrum as the yellowest day of New York. New York is so green and beautiful, and
I think we're green for 2 months, and then we're yellow the rest of the
yellow
year.
and brown, yeah. And that's one thing I love. I'll go out to New York and it's just be green everywhere, rolling hills, little farms. Everyone thinks when you say New York, they think you're headed to New York City, and it is not New York City. It is it's like small town Logan. If you guys know where Walsburg is, over by Heber, it is like Walsburg on steroids. That's what upstate New York is.
It'd be cool to go see.
One of these days, bud.
One of these days.
I'll even take you to the city if you want, but the city sucks. It's cool to go to New York City. If you've never been to New York City, too, that's a whole nother animal. You need to check that out. You walk in. My first time, Jen took me in on the train, and we came into the Penn Station, and I come walking up the steps out of Penn Station, and I literally walked out the door, and I just went, whoa, tall buildings. I walk up right next to Madison Square Garden.
That's cool.
But the thing with New York City that'll kill you, man, you walk 5 feet and you're like, oh, you smell that pizza. It smells so good. You walk 5 more feet and you smell curry. You're like, ugh, curry. You walk 5 more feet and you're like, oh, do you smell that? That's chicken. 5 more feet, oh, that's shit. That's garbage. Like it is. There's smells coming from every direction. It reminds me of like you've been down to the transfer station.
Yeah.
That's what New York smells like. A mixture of cafes. It is weird as shit, but it is cool.
Yeah.
It is cool, but I've never stayed longer than 48 hours and I've never had the desire to stay longer than 48 hours. I've been there twice.
The only thing I'd want to go see is the World Trade Monument and Statue of Liberty.
Yep, Statue of Liberty. I always tell Jen that's my girl. I have a statue put on my desk. But
So,
anyways, guys,
stay tuned. We're gonna have a lot of fun
well,
playing catch up.
hang in there. If you're as tired as we are, you know damn well that
Almost over, guys.
we got another month of this, but hang in there. And if you're still working on cars, good luck to you. And I'm glad it's you and not me. So we'll see you guys all
Whenever we see you. I can't promise nothing.
hopefully next week. See you guys.